For us as Vantatkuchin people, the land is provides for all areas of our life, and more especially our well-being. The Vantatkuchin people have a spiritual connection to our lands, to our animals, and to our waters. My name is Lorraine Nitro. I was the coordinator for the families of the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls healing camp in Old Crow. It's very, very important for our community and our people to participate in these processes, because we have been impacted, we have been affected by a murder of one of our own beautiful young Gutchin women.
So I welcome you to Old Crow from me and my family. I appreciate you guys coming. It's hard to imagine how things like this could happen, and all the hardships that our people have faced.
I hope you enjoy your visit here, and it's always good to see new faces and new people coming and meeting and having new friends. Welcome to Old Crow. Enjoy your stay.
I'm a grandmother of 8 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. I've been married half a century, I guess. Yeah. My sister's here with me, and I got a baby sister that's here with me, so it's kind of really nice for us to travel together. My name is May Bolton, and I'm from Rose River. And I'm here also with my daughter Yvonne, and we both on our healing journey. And my mother was murdered back in 1992.
We may not have roads to our community, but we do have open arms. And that we have so much to share from our little community, that we protect our little hearts and our way of life. And our elders long ago didn't want a road coming to our community. And we all know today how fast the world turns. But we're afforded a different take on time in Old Crow. And we're happy, absolutely happy, and we welcome everyone to share in that. To take your watch off, not check your phone as much.
Okay, my name is Diane Lilly. I'm from Little Salmon Carmacks First Nation. My sister, she went missing on the highway in the 90s, and she was missing for 6 months before her body was recovered, and then it took 16 years for the RCMPs to find someone and charge them with murder. And they said, yeah, they said, we would like you to know that we charged someone for her murder. And I just cried. I broke down and I cried. And I was like 16 years of not knowing, sorry, but 16 years of not knowing what happened to my sister. So I stood up in that court and I said, excuse me, I said, I'm sorry. And then the judge looked at me over his glasses like this and said, who are you, ma'am? And I said, my name is Diane Lilly, maiden name Diane Washpan. I said, my sister Cynthia, which was given, like they changed her name, I said, my sister Tina has a name. I said, could you please refer her? She's a human being. She is my baby sister. I love her. Can you please stop referring her as this hooker, that slut, that prostitute? She does have a name. She has family that love her. Can you have some respect? I'm sitting here and my relatives are sitting with me. I said, please use her name. And so they used Cynthia Burke, which was her adopted name. It's still like the hurt, it's still there. The pain is still there because I never had my family. I never grew up with my family. We were apprehended as young children from our community, and we were split up when we got to Whitehorse. I can imagine how my mother felt. I can feel her pain. her kids were stolen from her. She was lied from the government, the welfare social workers of the territory. And then we never ever saw her mother after that. And we were put in residential school. I started getting sexually molested. And in turn, I was running away, taking my 2 younger sisters with me, and I was running away from there because I didn't want them, what happened to me, sexual abuse and physical abuse. I didn't want that for them.
And it's perfect. I think this is a perfect location. Oak Hut is a very spiritual place. It's a very healing place for our people, and no better place to bring the families of the missing, murdered Indigenous women and girls to get in touch with our ancestors and just look towards the future of healing. And so that's my involvement. Just really excited and proud to show them my community. We are still so connected to the land and all that it provides for us as Indigenous people that when we say it's a healing place, it's because the environment around us is so pristine, and the people very much live this lifestyle. They live the lifestyle of the values and principles which they've carried for generations, for as long as we've existed. And that's really important when we talk about healing and we talk about who we are as Indigenous people. And healing really begins with your roots. It begins in identifying who you are as an Indigenous person and where you come from and who your parents are and how do you connect to each other. And what we've learned through this exercise is that as women and as communities, we all have a lot of the same teachings and principles, whether you're looking through the Dene laws or the Dooley laws or the Tlingit laws or the Gwich'in laws. Fundamentally, the rules apply to all of us. It's about our respect for Mother Earth, respect for the environment, respect for all living things, and respect for each other. And I think it's really rooted in that, and this is the opportunity for us to just go back to that place of beginnings.
There's an energy here that's going to be with you when you leave. It's going to help you to come to a place where you can say, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to be okay for this moment, for this day. So when we're talking about our family units and how we are as a people, as women and as men in this day and age, we come from that strong place. We were all taught that by our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, and our grandfathers. We come from strong ancestors. And you could feel it here today. I've been gone for so long. I've been away. And you don't know how happy I am to be here. I have to travel to advocate for protection of our way of life and of our sacred land. And so I've been gone. And on the way up, You don't know how happy I am to be here today and to share with you, because it's so important. I don't need to be reconciled. I say to people that we're already there. We always have been. And to help people understand who we are as Indigenous people in this land. I say, imagine a river. And there's a bridge to be built there. To bridge and build and to help our people come together. As it were, as Indigenous people, we're already built ours halfway. We're waiting for you to build yours to meet us. We already have our hands held out to you, no matter what the hell happened back there. And we're ready. It's for all those ones who are growing. And it's for their future generations, 7 generations from now, of Gutchins, who's gonna experience this land the way it is, untouched. Our sacred lands where we harvest our food. This is a good berry picking area too. Cranberry. Cranberries and blueberries.
I think she got into the sauce this morning. Doesn't know what she's talking about actually. There's no berries around here. One thing I realized since you guys all came here is that this is about missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And every person that is seeking justice for those missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls are all women. So the victims are women, and then the people seeking justice for them, they're women too. And in many ways they're being victimized as well in their pursuit of justice for them. And I just wanted to acknowledge how beautiful and inspiring that is, that it's, you know, the women that are the victims, but it's also the women that are taking on the fight as well. And I heard Nahani mention yesterday that it should be the woman in that fight. But I also think that men have our role too, and I think that we could do a much better job at that role. I think that men could be Indigenous men could probably be a lot more supportive and a lot more involved. And I'll, do whatever I can for my part anyway to try and promote that as much as I can.
I come from a long line of relatives, including grandparents and parents, who went to residential schools. I don't need to tell anybody what happened in those schools. We all know it. And my family was no different. And one of the things that happened was that our children came back after having been sexually abused, and that sexual abuse was often brought onto other bodies. And my mom, my grandmother is no different. And I'm no different. I was first sexually abused at the age of 5, and then again at 12. My mom, who was so young when she had me, she didn't know how to be a mom. And a lot of our people don't. And my mom was incredibly physically abusive. Almost every day of my life, I remember just being beaten day in and day out. My mom, like a lot of our women and young girls, was sexually exploited. My mom was sexually exploited on these streets across Canada, starting at the age of 13, just a baby. So I grew up being abused by my mom. I grew up being alone. My mom started to leave me alone when I was around 4 years old. I had to fend for myself. I had to try and find food. I had to put myself to bed. I had to worry about where my mom was and if she was safe. And like a lot of our people, as I got older, I started to in order to try and deal with the trauma, I did what a lot of our people do. I started doing drugs. I started drinking. I started doing drugs at the age of 12. I moved out on my own when I was 15 years old. I was in abusive relationships. By the time I was 18, 20 years old, I was a full drug addict and an alcoholic. I didn't even realize I was an alcoholic or a drug addict. I just thought, oh, I was going to, try and get, clean for a little bit. I met an elder as soon as I came back to Winnipeg. Her name was Shannon. And Shannon was the first woman in my life who said to me, Nahani, do you realize how sacred you are? Do you realize how valued you are? Do you realize how beautiful you are? Do you realize how you come from this long line of Indigenous women? That you have this incredible strength within you. That is your ancestry. That is your gift. I literally had never heard that in my life. All I heard my life was, you're nothing. I don't love you. And so this elder, it was the first time that I said I could draw on something other than the trauma that I had. And she literally saved my life. What saved my life was being an Indigenous woman and getting those teachings on what it meant to be an Indigenous woman.
I'm so very grateful that we're honoring my granddaughter, Brandy. My oldest granddaughter was Brandy. She was murdered in Whitehorse when she was 17 years old, 17 days before Christmas in 2014. It's going to be 5 years in December. It was a sudden, traumatic experience, devastating loss. It hurt so bad. My world shattered that day. Nobody's going to tell me to get over it until you've been in my shoes and gone through what I've gone through. Making those kind of remarks, they should get over it. It really hurts to the core. I know in the Bible it states that our days are numbered on this earth. And we have such a set time on earth. In time, I know I will accept this. I'm on my healing journey, and I know in my heart I will be at peace with losing Brandy. Grieving can take years and years. It can't be rushed. When it's sudden death, sudden loss, it hits you so bad, you're caught off balance, and somehow you're never the same. We lost a family member that day, a loved one who meant so much to us, who meant the world to us. Brandy had a big extended family, friends and community members all over who loved her so much. She lived with me for some years here in Oak Grove. We helped to raise her, for which I was happy to do, teaching her about the Gwich'in way of life, and she made friends wherever she went. Brandy brought light and happiness wherever she went, and she was an inspiration to many of her peers. She left a big impact in this world and a big empty space, but it's up to us, my family gathered here, and all community members, her friends throughout the North. We all need to fill that empty space with our love by first accepting our loss, going through the motions and stages of grieving, if we haven't done so yet, and taking care of ourselves and one another, treating one another with respect, kindness, understanding, and forgiving another person.
I'm very grateful that you guys brought us up to your traditional land here, and you guys helped bring my spirit back to me.
It was really powerful, and it was really strong to hear other people's words. It was an inspiration to myself as well.
It was a very beautiful place, and I would like to thank the Oak Grove people for the hospitality.
Yeah, I had a good time here, and it's very sad for me to leave because it's a nice place here, and I don't mind coming back again. Thank you.
I really enjoyed my time here, but it's kind of sad because I like this land. Anyways, thank you.
I could tell that they're really close-knit community, and they take care of themselves and their young ones. And I would really like for the other communities to actually be the way they are, close-knit, and show their support.